Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Former Manchester United striker Teddy Sheringham believes Paul Pogba should leave this summer as long as Man United can replace him properly. Now Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that there's been no talks with Juventus for Paul Pogba. Julian Lawns has already said that PSG are considering a move for Pogba. PSG have stepped up their chase and the 51 million fee has not put them off. Pogba's been seduced by PSG. Fabrizio Romano did say that PSG are interested in signing Paul Pogba, and PSG have already made contact with Paul Pogba's representatives. Not so long ago, Mini Oriola held talks with PSG's president. PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. And Kim Pembe said quite a few weeks ago that Paul Pogba would be welcome to PSG. But Pogba's made it clear that he wants to leave Man United to go to PSG. Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga. He's also been linked with Real Madrid. He's been linked with a return to Juventus. He did endure 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. And Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Swap deals have been on the agenda. Not so long ago, there was talks of a Raphael Varane and Paul Pogba swap deal. There's also been talks of a Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba swap deal. Now, Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Said the other week that we fear losing Pogba on a free transfer. Sky Sports News did mention that Man United were in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. And it said we wanted to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth 104 million. Solskjaer did say, didn't he, that he hopes Pogba stays and signs a new contract. Pogba produced his best performances in the last couple of months of last season. He does bring creativity to the team, and I thought Pogba enjoyed a very good tournament with France at the Euros. Not so long ago, Paul Pogba had a fallout with Adrien Rabiot. Mini Oriola did a lot of talking last season. He made an announcement back in December of last year saying that Paul Pogba's career at Man United is over. He said he was unhappy and he has to leave, and he did say he had no intentions of extending his contract. And Solskjaer was furious with his agent's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Mini Oriola last season also said he's got no intentions of destabilising his client's season. And he made an admission saying that he was working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer to avoid offence.
He also criticised Sir Alex Ferguson for forcing Pogba out of the club when he was younger, and he said he didn't give a fuck if he didn't take another player to Man United as long as his clients are happy. And towards the end of last season, he said that Pogba wants to win trophies at Man United or at another top European club. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. So far he's won 3 trophies at the club. That's the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield, and he's endured 5 seasons at Man United since he rejoined. Now, I want to give you some more news on Raphael Varane. So, according to Fabrizio Romano, Man United still awaiting response. Man United is still awaiting Real Madrid's response to the Raphael Varane approach. Romano did also mention that Man United have had direct contact with Real Madrid regarding Raphael Varane. He says both clubs still remain in talks over the defender. Real Madrid have given Raphael Varane permission to negotiate a departure out of the club. So Man United get the green light for Varane. Man United have been warned it won't be easy to prize Varane away from Real Madrid. It says we are now considering alternatives to Varane because Man United's deal for Varane is in doubt. The Manchester Evening News said last month that Man United submitted a £50 million bid, but it says Real Madrid were demanding £80 million. Now, it recently said Man United prepare a £43 million bid for Varane, but the other day he said that Varane has given his word to Man United that he wants to join, and it says Varane is very close to signing for Man United, and the AS said that Man United are in advanced talks to sign Raphael Varane from Real Madrid. Varane has agreed personal terms with Man United. He said he wants his move sorted within the next 2 weeks. Real Madrid offered Varane a renewal contract offer, but Varane rejected it. But Varane's already said that he wants to come to Manchester United. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid expires next year. We went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world, and he's highly experienced. And I'm kind of sure he would exceed expectations in the Premier League. If Varane came to Man United, Varane and Harry Maguire would complement each other very well in our back line. Varane's got a great pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid. And he's been a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He's been with them over 10 years now. He's made 360 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. You know the news on Eduardo Camavinga from Rennes? Fabrizio Romano said that Man United are the front runners for Eduardo Camavinga. And Romano also said that Man United are expected to make an official bid for Camavinga in the coming days. And he mentions that Man United are serious about Camavinga. Not so long ago, Romano said that Man United progressed direct contact for Camavinga, and Rennes are open to selling him for around €30 million. Negotiations between Rennes and Manchester United are ongoing. Rennes made a bid of just over €8.4 million for Midtjylland midfielder Jens Kajusti as a potential replacement for Camavinga. Rennes are prepared to cash in on Camavinga rather than risk losing him on a free next year. The Rennes sporting director gave us an update not so long ago, and he said that Rennes have been in discussions with other clubs over a potential transfer for Camavinga. Camavinga is only the age of 18. He made his debut at the age of 16. He's been at Rennes since 2013. I read a report today and it says Eduardo Camavinga's transfer to Man United depends on Paul Pogba. But I'm expecting Manchester United to enjoy a very good summer transfer window. Because I'm convinced that Solskjaer's going to get all the players he wants to recommend in. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. So far, we have made 2 signings in this summer transfer window. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa, and we brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. I think Solskjaer wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. If we can sign Varane, and then if we can get someone else in, I think there's a chance that Man United will win the Premier League title next season. That's Solskjaer's ambition, to win the title. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. It said before the summer transfer window opened that Solskjaer had been given a €150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. And Solskjaer did mention that he wants to strengthen up in 4 positions. And the board said they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings and a new 3-year contract, despite the Europa League final loss to Villarreal last season. We are going to offload players in this summer transfer window, so reflecting on that will generate money. I think we've got some very, very good players at Man United. There's players that have improved as well. Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. It said not so long ago that Solskjaer's chosen Dean Henderson to be our number one goalkeeper for next season. You know, Dean Henderson is reliable enough to be our number one. Did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Before the start of last season, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club, and he's got that experience behind him. He endured 2 loans at Sheffield, and he's had other loan spells before. It's actually said Dean Henderson's future is in doubt with the arrival of Tom Heaton. But I reckon Dean Henderson will stay with us for next season. David De Gea, now, despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years, I still think he's a very, very good goalkeeper. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. De Gea's won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for us in all competitions, and he was our number one for such a long time. De Gea's endured 10 years at Man United, so he's been a long servant. To De Gea's credit, last season he produced good performances after the Everton collapse in February, and he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number one role. He actually put a very good performance out in the Europa League semi-final against Roma, but obviously he wasn't good in the final because he cost us the final, you know, missed his penalty, and he had 11 chances to save a penalty and didn't save one, unfortunately. De Gea's come out and said that he's determined to fight for his future, and he will hold talks with Solskjaer regarding his future after the Euros. ESPN said that De Gea is unsure on Solskjaer's final decision. It actually said De Gea could be loaned out next season to make room in the goalkeeping department. He has, 2 years left on his current contract, and he's on £375,000 a week. Luke Shaw, he's very, very good as well. He's improved. He was our best player last season, Luke Shaw. In a lot of the games last season, Luke Shaw got forward well. His crossing was good. He got into very good positions. He created good chances for his teammates. He provided width. Defensively, he was superb. But towards the end of last season, for like 3 games in a row, he looked off the pace. And Luke Shaw's done very, very well for England during the tournament. Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Tellez, and I think Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Luke Shaw's been with us now over 7 years. Harry Maguire, I think he's a decent centre-half. You know, he's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. I thought Maguire did very well in the derby defeat last season, was it? He did score in the 2-1 defeat to Sheffield last season. I think he scored like 3 or 4 goals now for Man United. He did score in the 2-0 win away at Chelsea, was it the season before last, if I can remember rightly. To Maguire's credit as well, he's done very well for England during the Euro tournament. It was a big miss for us though towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We overpaid for him. We got him in a deal worth £80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Eric Bailly, I think he's a very, very good centre-half, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly, he's too injury-prone, so in that aspect, he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. We probably did make a mistake giving him that new contract. Bailly's been with us now over 5 years, got him for 30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. But when Bailly plays, in a lot of his games, he intercepts the ball well, he shows the ability to play out from the back, he's very effective in the air. So there you go. Axel Tuanzebe is a decent player, but he hardly plays for us, so it's the right decision to let him leave. I think Tuanzebe is going out on loan, if I'm right. The best game I recall Tuanzebe having was PSG. And Wan-Bissaka, he's a very, very good right back. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb. And Wan-Bissaka, though, has got to show more attacking intent. But there was some games last season where he got forward well and he put some good crosses into the box and he got in some good positions. Next season's going to be massive for Bissaka. So far, he's enjoyed 2 full seasons at Man United. We got him for 50 million from Palace back in the summer of 2019. McTominay, he's a decent player. I hope he can put some good performances out next season. McTominay had some good games last season. The best game I recall him having last season was a 6-2 win against Leeds. He made a difference in that game because he scored twice in that game, McTominay. He's not yet, though, on that level where I want him to be at. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Paul Pogba, like I said, he's improved. Bruno Fernandes, he's very, very good as well. Bruno Fernandes is our best player and he's one of the best signings we have made since Ferguson retired. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace, but we have overplayed him, to be fair. Fernandes has been at Man United now for 17, 18 months, is it? Fabrizio Romano did say that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. He said towards the end of last season that we was willing to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to £200,000 a week. At the moment, he's on £100,000 a week. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Bruno Fernandes won Player of the Year last season and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad, despite him going a long period without scoring. Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been part of the club for a long time. Could be a problem now with Mason Greenwood, though, with Jadon Sancho coming in. Jadon Sancho's predominantly a right winger and Greenwood does play on the right a lot for us. You can play Greenwood central, but then that means Cavani would have to drop out. Edison Cavani, he's very, very good. He's made an impact since he's come in and I'm glad Cavani is staying for next season. Marcus Rashford, you know, he's good when he wants to be, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. He's had bad periods and he's injury prone. He's sustained a few injuries now during his time with Man United. I just think we need to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. And Amad Diallo Traore, he looks a very, very good asset for the first team squad. We got him from Atlanta. So yeah, there you go. There's good players at Man United. The players I think could leave in this summer transfer window is Jones. We know Tuanzebe's leaving. It looks like Delors leaving. Brandon Williams is going to Southampton on loan. Right decision, obviously, to gain Williams more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities. Because Williams seldom plays for us. He's our third choice left back. To Heath, John, by the way, has just joined Birmingham on loan. Right decision. De Gea could possibly leave, but I don't think he will. We'll find out more when he's held them talks with Solskjaer. Pogba could be leaving. Donny van der Beek, you know, there's a good chance he's going to leave. So there you go, and you know the news regarding Martial. Recent reports have said now that Martial is staying, but Martial's been relentlessly linked with a move away from the club. I'll be disappointed if Martial remains with Man United next season because he's no longer good enough to represent the club. You know, can't wait, you know, for the new season. You know, next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he is aware of that. You know, I think next season Solskjaer needs to improve on his decision making. Because so far, in a lot of the games he's managed at Man United, he's been tactically naive. I'd say next season Solskjaer has to win a trophy because obviously if he wins a trophy next season that would be an achievement. Then obviously that would give Solskjaer confidence and our players confidence as well. It'll be interesting to see what formation Solskjaer goes with a lot next season. You know, he's tried different formations at Man United, but he's actually gone with that 4-2-3-1 formation a lot. But next season is going to be Solskjaer's third full season at Man United. You know, so far he's enjoyed 2 full seasons at the club. You know, in a way, I'm surprised he's still Manchester United manager because we've enjoyed very bad periods under Ole where he's been close to being sacked, and plus we lost the Europa League final to Villarreal last season. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.